Under Trump, this kind of government will perish from the earth. I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. We don't want to wake up after the election saying, what, again? My God, what the hell have we done? We can't have that happen again. We're trying to be gentlemen in this world. The Democrats, you are gangsters.
Excuse me.
You are gangsters.
You're washed up.
You.
A paid sellout for the DNC. A paid sellout for the DNC.
Well, that was Robert De Niro hurling insults at former President Trump and his supporters during what some are calling a bizarre press conference outside the Trump trial courthouse. The Biden campaign was in the House yesterday.
Bizarre is one word. Joe Concha is a Fox News contributor, and he joins us now. Joe, in the pantheon of bad ideas, from New Coke to the Hindenburg to Dylan Mulvaney, where does this De Niro press conference rank?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 23,
Nice.
I'd go about with Todd. Look, where to begin with this topic, right? I mean, the Biden campaign and the White House have insisted all along they were going to have nothing to do with these trials, that they wouldn't exploit them for political purposes. And we know that's patent BS because of what we saw outside that courtroom yesterday. And by the way, why else would the Biden DOJ's third highest ranking guy leave such a prominent position to go work for someone like Alvin Bragg and take on such a limp case like this? And then to see Robert De Niro go full taxi driver, full Travis Bickle in front of that courtroom, literally as an unhinged representative of the Biden-Harris campaign, really told the whole story. I mean, let's repeat what he said. Quote, under Donald Trump, government will perish from the earth, unquote. Gee, Carly, Todd, if only we had a preview of what a Trump administration would look like. Oh, that's right, we did. From 2017 to 2021, when Trump was, actually president. He didn't attempt to prosecute and jail his political enemies. He didn't run roughshod over Congress and the Supreme Court like Mr. Biden is with his student loan forgiveness gambit. So hyperbole from another member of Hollywood ain't going to work here, especially from Robert De Niro, who's been ranting like a crazy person, suffering from TDS for many years at award shows and now in Lower Manhattan yesterday. He might as well throw in a wig and join The View. Carly.
Well, there was this Politico headline yesterday, Joe, that said Democrats are in full freakout mode over President Biden's re-election chances. And one Democrat strategist says if the frame of this race is what was better, the 3.5 years under Biden or 4 years under Trump, we lose that every day of the week and twice on Sunday. So could that be why the Biden campaign sent Robert De Niro out to the Trump trial yesterday? Don't look at the economy, crime, the border. Look over here instead.
That's a great question. And precisely to your point, inflation isn't going down. The Gaza Pier is falling apart. Let's see, crime in major American cities is still a huge problem. There's still terrorists coming across the U.S. southern border. What should we do? Hey, we should call Robert De Niro. Yeah, that should solve everything. So, yeah, this is obviously an illustration of Democrats freaking out because there's a poll that came out yesterday, guys, that really caught my eye in terms of Biden's approval, but it's only when looking at key swing states. Listen to this. In Arizona, 31% approve of Joe Biden, 62% disapprove. In Nevada, that's 32% approve, 61% disapprove. Pennsylvania, 33% approve, 60% approve. Michigan, 34% approve, 59% approve. In Georgia, 31% approve, 59% disapprove. So when your disapproval numbers are averaging more than 60% in the states that matter, when your approval is below 33%, just 1/3 of voters on average, you tell me where the path to victory is, especially when the sitting president is aging like mayonnaise left out in the sun and acts like he should be a Walmart greeter more than a commander-in-chief and leader of this free country, while Donald Trump still shows that even at 77, he has the energy to lead for 4 more years. I don't see a path at this point unless some change is made to the Biden ticket or they're removed altogether at this point.
Well, to that point, and first of all, Walmart greeters do give direction as to where things are. So I'd be careful about what you say about Walmart greeters. I don't know if Joe could do that. But to your point about replacing, what does the placement of this story following Memorial Day weekend tell you about the potential movement, the tea leaves, read them for us, Joe, to ultimately replace Biden at the top of the ticket?
It's a cry for help. because when you go to the press and you start speaking in these terms, like, look, guys, it's getting late early around here. Doomsday is coming if Donald Trump is elected president again. When you start leaking to the press like this, and we haven't seen a lot of leaks like this, at least we did in the first year and a half of the Biden administration. Now they're coming more and more, and it seems like it's, again, setting up for Joe Biden to be removed from the ticket. Obviously, I guess that would mean Kamala Harris also, because she's polling worse than he is, and something to happen at the convention where somebody is installed. You know, the party who wants to save democracy may install a candidate, and you keep hearing the name Michelle Obama as being the only savior that could save the Democratic Party at this point. I don't think she wants the job, but maybe she could be talked into it.
We shall see. Joe, thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
Have a great day.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.